Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. Solana has come down quite strongly, obviously, during that whole correction here. We've defined this target area here, price came into it. Solana in the target area between the 88.7% Fibonacci level and the 61.8 between $30 and $100. It had a chance to turn around and get back into an uptrend. Now the market so far hasn't used this opportunity. It's looking very much like a three-wave move that we have here, like an A, B, C. And this indicates that we could see further downside from here overall. But as you know, nothing is moving down in a straight line. And therefore, we have to expect from time to time also a move up again, even in a downtrend here. But as you can see here, we've got a descending trend line here in orange. It's sort of the short-term view. Overall, what I need to say is that anywhere in this target area, the price has a chance to turn around, yeah? So it has a chance to turn around and move back to new all-time highs. When will this scenario get invalidated? In my opinion, it will really only get invalidated below $30. Even then, it's not strictly invalidated, but it's getting likely that this is still that wave count. We would then need to start lower possibly, but we're probably nearly started at zero anyway already. So it wouldn't really, this is already sort of the geared towards the lowest, the worst case scenario. But as you can see, Solana has strong or a lot of space still to drop lower in this current scenario to reach the 88.7% Fibonacci level, which is sort of the last, ideally the last exit. It is normally the last major bullish support level. It has still space to drop another 64%, which doesn't mean it is going to drop that much, but it's actually good news that it is quite far away from it, because that means any sort of drop from Bitcoin will also not really harm Solana. Yes, it can drop as well, but it would not get into dangerous regions where it's getting at risk of invalidating this sort of bullish scenario. Other cryptocurrencies are much lower. They are, to a degree, some of them already very close to that 88.7% Fibonacci level. And in a sense, Solana is roundabout at the same Fib level currently as Cardano. Cardano is a little bit lower, but they are pretty much working out in a similar way. So both of them moving closely together here at the moment. In terms of the Fib retracements I'm talking about. But yeah, what does that mean here for Solana short term? Does it mean correction is over or not? As I said, somewhere in here, the price has a good chance to turn around. Next logical target and ideal target for such a movement would be the $55 level. At $55, which is here, that line, yeah, there you go. You also have previous support here, resistance here. And that was a significant swing high of that first wave back in May 21, just to highlight that, yeah. So I'm currently on the 2-day chart for some reason. If I go to the 1-day chart, we can see that in the last week, I told you that we have to expect lower prices for Solana. And as you can see here, we dropped below that support level. Someone told me we will never get below $95 again. Unfortunately, it happened. We dropped below that support level here. We dropped out of that wedge pattern and we are below that descending trend line. Strictly, as long as we are below the descending trend line, we have primarily to expect that this trend is continuing. That is just a rule in TA. You just have to assume the trend is continuing until it's broken. For now, we are clearly here in a short-term downtrend and we are below a descending trend line. That downtrend would only be broken, in my opinion, above $111. So that is sort of what we need to get above to break the downtrend, because then you would make a first higher high. And then you also need to make a higher low, yeah. And then you can start to move up from there. It was a bit of an ugly one here, so because you want to make that higher high in order to break the downtrend. Otherwise, even if you have some short-term upside potential here, maybe to $105, it would still be in a downtrend, yeah. So this would be like the main trend, and you always have corrections in the trend. So this is sort of the short-term noise that is not that relevant. Yeah, even something like this here, when we moved up here again and retested or made it all the way up to $111, this was just short-term noise. Today, nobody cares about that level anymore or about that movement. And that is always when I say, in my opinion, we see dropping prices and then someone says in the next video, oh, that didn't age well. Well, if it's just a short-term noise, nobody cares, right? Because, you know, honestly, because this is sort of the correction in a downtrend, and that can happen at any time. And we currently see here potential that Solana will break above that resistance box again. The reason is that we are currently here getting into a triangle formation. So what I said to you last video was that there's a good potential that Solana goes up again and retests the wedge from below, and that is exactly what happened. So we came all the way up here to the resistance, or no, previous support level of the wedge, and we bounced off that, but we made a higher low, indicating we could make another attempt to go all the way up to $90 and retest it. And if we get through, though, the problem is that there are still a lot of resistance levels along the way. So someone asked me in the last video, is it going to go up or down? Now, I can't tell you that. As I said, primary expectation is we are going down until the chart is going to tell us something different. So as soon as we break that descending trend line here, this is certainly something to look out for. But at the moment, the downtrend is still at play. As soon as we break this descending downtrend line, which would be here at around $94, yeah, so we would basically at around $90 go back into the wedge, but that wouldn't be great because all that means you're back in a pattern. So again, that is not a breakout or anything, you're actually breaking into a pattern, and what you have then to do is to break above that pattern, break out of it to the upside, and then all of this would have just been a fake out. To do that, you need to break above $94. If I set cents here, cents at any point, no, it's of course dollars. So if we move above $94 here, then the next level would be the $100 level. So even then, you're not really breaking out, you know, because the problem is you have a very significant resistance level along the way. So for example, breaking out of the wedge and going long, I'm not telling you not to do it, that's up to you, but I'm telling you it bears the risk that we run into resistance very fast. So the risk to reward here is not great in my view, because you know you have resistance here straight away around the $100 and $105 mark. You have resistance here, 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 yeah, all of that in this region. Here $111. Now that is quite a bit, quite far away from here, but it already starts here at $100. Between $100 and $105, there's a lot of resistance. So even if you move up from here, I would want to see much higher prices to be more on the of the view that we can see further price increases. As I said, you can break that descending trend line and you would still be in a downtrend, because the trend really only gets broken as soon as you get above the previous swing high, and the last significant swing high here in this move down is at $111, and that is what I would like to see broken first. If we do not manage to get through this descending trend line, what would be the next target to the downside? In my view, here, first of all, the swing low again at $81.50 from the 30th of April. But if we drop below that, then you are going to get to that $75 level, which would be the equivalent on the Cardano chart, for example, to the 75-cent level. So quite interesting how that works out together. And I remain of my view that the ideal target for this overall correction here, with some short-term noise included, of course, the overall ideal target would be that $55 level, the 78.6% Fibonacci level. And from here we have scope to move all the way down like 35% before we find overall support here and have a chance here at this level to turn around. Okay, that is my view about Solana. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, check out the channel membership. Yeah, see you in the next video. Bye bye.